When you walk into a fine art museum, why do they put all the beautiful old art like this next to the ugly modern art like this? Why do they put all the refined, technically brilliant, cultured, gorgeous, traditional, great paintings like this next to some old modern garbage like this? You know, why do we have to pretend that images of sublime beauty like this, images that just pulverize you with their overwhelming sensuality? I mean, my God, viewer, the extraordinary beauty of what you're looking at here, and you have to pretend beauty like this is comparable to slop like this.
When you walk into a fine art museum, why is it that the new works always look like this or this banana taped to the wall, but never like this? Or why do new public statues look like this or this monstrosity and never like this?
This is a video called Modernism Has Failed Us, Why Is Everything So Ugly Now by the YouTuber Joomi Kim. I've already kind of made my point in the introduction, but there are just a few things in this video, a few of the things Kim says, which I find especially interesting.
Like, the way they talk about it, you'd expect that we're in the most meaningless, discordant, violent period, but I think that's long gone now. There's a lot more kind of fragrance, color, friendly energy, less kind of apocalyptic, post-war, we're all doomed, listen to this screeching woman for 3 hours. I think that's mostly out of the system, even though the same arguments are wheeled out from the same texts.
Yeah, we're very thoroughly in the backlash to beauty. First of Kim's points that I'd like to address is that modernism is responsible for alienating people from the arts.
One of the effects of modernism that often doesn't get talked a lot about, which is how it's narrowed cultural participation. Much of modernist art alienates or confuses the public, and this naturally leads to more people disengaging from it.
Do you feel engaged with this picture, viewer? Do you feel included? How about this one? Do you feel this is an engaging, inclusive picture that really speaks to you? How about this? Does this feel like something you can really participate in? That's part of your culture? Something that asks for your cultural participation? I mean, obviously this doesn't have anything to do with you. Elitist, modernist gibberish. You don't know what you're looking at. You just can't engage with it at all. This, on the other hand, now this is something you can really get your teeth into. Could any sane, normal person look at this picture and fail to be moved? Would anyone who's ever seen an image like this, of this aesthetic glory, ever choose to soil their eyes with something like this?
Let's not pretend that these are anywhere near the level of art that took a tremendous amount of skill or craftsmanship. I think we've been fooled into thinking that they're on the same level because the modern art pieces appear in museums or art textbooks together with the old masterworks. They make us think that they're genius by association.
Do you think people engage more with pre-modern art than modern art?
Well, how interested are people actually in the men on horses genre of art? Most people will look at it and say, that is skillful, that is real art. They'll never question its credentials as real art. Man on horse, done nicely. But I don't know how much the modern man is really interested in that. Usually it's the stuff with a bit of a meta twist that intrigues people more. It's like the ambassadors in the National Gallery. You know, the one you look at it from an angle and you see the smudge becomes a skull. People love that one, which is sort of it's tilted from the man on horse genre because you've got the two men not on horses at present, but they might be. And not many people are too interested in what they're doing. They just love this special effect. And I think the special effect is kind of part of the modernist mission.
Like, it's a proto-modernist effect, isn't it?
Yeah, how can we frazzle your brain when you look at this? And it is this, but it's not. like how cubism is, imagine a familiar thing and then we scramble it, puzzle, put it back together.
The rest of the ambassador's painting, I don't think anyone's ever seen what's going on there. What's on the table? What are
There's
they
some
wearing?
great stuff. It's so detailed. You can keep staring at it, but again, people just want, what is this weird smudge on the carpet? Wowee, it's a skull. Why the hell is there a skull there? And it becomes a surrealist piece. And I think surrealism, especially the more, it's weird to say, but the figurative surrealism, people love that. Like the late Dali stuff with the Christs and the cubes. People are pretty keen to look at that.
It's hard for me to imagine someone who's really into like Dali or Max Ernst, who nevertheless doesn't like Hieronymus Bosch or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, Ernst even, he did the Saint Anthony thing, which is just it's a riff on the Bosch, which is a riff on so many other guys, but it's there, they quote it, they know it, it's intermelded.
The path forward isn't to copy the past, but maybe to reconnect with it. I think the arts would be healthier if we also had a living tradition where beauty, skill, and meaning are the highest goals.
Well, I do think skill and meaning, whatever that means, were two of the highest goals of pre-modern art. I'm really not sure beauty was. I mean, what about all the crucifixions? A ridiculous percentage of pre-modern art is watching a man being horribly executed. Okay, if you know the backstory, you can see it as beautiful, but only if you apply the whole Christian story to it. You have to know what you're looking at. But even beyond crucifixions, I mean, is beauty the primary goal of this artwork? How about this one? What about this one? This one? Do you think this is primarily for beauty? This is the Isenheim altarpiece in Colmar. I think it is utterly grotesque, gratuitously disgusting, a monstrosity.
This monstrosity.
Probably one of the least beautiful objects in Europe.
A piece of art is so ugly that it's shocking. They're supposedly so good that they defy the senses. This is the type of thing that teenagers do to get attention. Some art theorists have speculated that this was also a response to things like capitalism or totalitarianism or the unprecedented brutality of the world wars.
If you're coming from the carnage of the world wars, you're naturally going to be more drawn towards the ugly and the grotesque than you are to the beautiful. But this doesn't constitute a rejection of the past, a rejection of the tradition, rather a direct consequence of that tradition, something that exists thoroughly within that tradition. There is a direct line between the Isenheim altarpiece and any one of Francis Bacon's horrifying monstrosities.
This monstrosity, because meaning could no longer be found in the outside world. Modernists turned inward, away from the world, to concentrate on the self and the inner life.
Here's the most famous painting of the 20th century. In what way is its fixation on horror an inward term? If anything, I'd say it's the other way around. People are their most individualistic, they're most selfish during peacetime. Anyway, this might be beside the point. Let's talk a bit more about the kind of modernism that people who go on anti-modernist tirades are against, which seems to include pretty much all abstract art. Shapes, colours, non-figurative art. Let's talk about non-figurative art.
If you make art that's more realistic, you are seen as inferior to the hotshots doing modern abstract stuff.
This is like a flyer for a local cafe. This doesn't bother people. People don't look at this and go like, hideous modernism, keeping the people down, keeping the people confused, trying to prevent people from engaging with modern art. People are very comfortable with that sort of thing.
If you're in the art gallery context, you want to go up and look at a thing and in a way understand it, come away with something. And if you go up and look at a thing and it's like the cafe little menu thing, well, What have you understood? Nothing necessarily. Is that important? Also, not necessarily. But it's the context of it. It's going in, I will come out a wiser person who now perceives and understands art. But I mean, one of the things that grinds my gears is the notion, and I think this was a real thing, that during the Cold War, the CIA would like buy up loads of this American expressionist stuff to inflate its value, to create the vision or illusion that American art was superior to this Soviet realism stuff, and therefore concluding the whole thing is a conspiracy and it's all junk garbage. And it's funny to imagine like the Nixon administration inventing abstract art cruelly to destroy communism, hating it, but like it's the only way. You've got no talented artists, just splash it on don't worry about it, they'll buy anything. And then the secondary thing, which is that it's money laundering, because all the art world is money laundering, which is not untrue, but equally the men on the horses is money laundering when those things get sold for more and more. Because who really cares about the men on the horses other than who painted them and when?
Let's move on to skill, though. Let's talk about what constitutes difficulty, what constitutes ease in the creation of something. Why is difficulty valuable? Why is ease unvaluable?
Genius is literally measured by how much beyond the work of children or animals your work exceeds. So if something could have been produced by a toddler, I don't think it should be called genius.
People admire something they can't do, something they can't conceive of doing, that requires years of training and talent and a kind of brilliance. Whereas when they see something that is purely conceptual and easy, it's almost like they're being cheated. It's like, hang on. At least Rembrandt spent decades training, art schools, whatever, patrons. This guy has walked in, sauntered in here, can't do nothing, splatters a bit of paint on here, as I could do, tells me it's meaningful, and I'm falling for it. And there is, I think, the sense of people really not wanting to be taken for fools. Like there's this big trick, and it's the emperor's new clothes thing. You really don't want to be the guy who actually thought, okay, this splatter one was good, and then the artist comes out like, that one, that's me. Got you with that
Psych.
one. The other ones, they have a lot of meaning, but this one, I was mucking around. Then eggs on my face for appreciating it.
The pat response to, well, my kid could have done that, is often, but he didn't. I've always found this response condescending. I think anyone who has ever used this response in real life is worthy of extreme contempt. But the artists that Kim chooses as a kid could have done this artists are Mark Rothko and Kazimir Malevich. Now here, the appropriate response to this comment is, no, your child could not have done this.
The artist claimed that he saw the face of God in it. Others have said it was a portal to another dimension, a protest against art itself, or just a square that got lost. Mark Rothko claimed that if a viewer just saw his paintings in terms of spatial or color relationships, that they had failed to understand them. He said, I'm not an abstractionist. I'm not interested in the relationship of color or form to anything else. I'm interested in expressing basic human emotions. And the fact that a lot of people break down and cry when confronted with my pictures shows they are having the same religious experience I had when I painted them. Really, they're just kitty paintings, 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 kitty paintings.
Does Kim really believe children are capable of this kind of compositional nuance, this sensitivity to color? What kind of ubermensch children is Kim fraternizing with? I've seen children's drawings. They're bad. They're tasteless. Am I really mad for thinking there's like a distinction between this and this? Are we really seeing no qualitative difference here? I mean, maybe there isn't. Maybe I've been brainwashed. Maybe no artwork in any medium is any better than any other artwork in any other medium. Hamlet, Big Mama's House 2.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that many of the collectors and the people who deal in this kind of art are equally ignorant of it and don't really care about it that much.
Yeah.
So it's like the guys paying $5 billion for a canvas of blue paint also don't care about it. The people on the floor don't care about it. There is this small, slim elite who are interested in that particular shade of blue, fine. But the majority of people engaged in this thing, it is just a money-making exercise. And some of it is meaningless, and that's fine. I do relate in a way, because there is a lot of bad contemporary art, and that's just... that's going to be true of every period.
This is sort of my thing whenever I watch these kind of reactionary videos. I'm on side. I just want our side to have better arguments.
Yeah.
And also, I think contemporary art isn't the real enemy. You can avoid contemporary art quite easily in life. The thing you can't avoid is advertising. The only reason I'm really making this response video, the thing that really interested me about Kim's video, were the two artworks that she selected as representatives of the beautiful, technically masterful, meaningful, pre-modern world.
Never like this, and never like this.
Both Venuses, so the Botticelli Venus and the Venus de Milo. Like, we can all agree this is objectively good, which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like Venus portrayals, because we are in the golden age of unclothed women imagery as a species.
Yeah, we got loads of that going on. High quality stuff.
I could show you things on this computer. It would blow your mind.
If anything, that element of beauty in the world is currently at its epoch, its zenith. This is it.
You don't see them as often in art galleries nowadays, to maybe the late 19th century, during the height of the Academy style, when you've got paintings like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, you know, classy stuff. I recently saw this canvas in Strasbourg. I have added the black bars myself. But for the most part, it's true. The Venus images have left the art gallery. The modern aesthetic equivalent of Botticelli's Venus isn't a banana taped to a wall. It's this, and 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 this. Our culture is top to bottom saturated with these images. I think like the beauty of the female body is something that has never been more pronounced or more of an obsession, more of a cultural obsession. In fact, when you type in beauty in Google, you don't get, you know, abstract metaphysics.
It would be great if you did. Cubes.
You get ways of making women who are already very beautiful more beautiful. I mean, as soon as Kim leaves an art gallery, it must just overwhelm her. How staggeringly beautiful the rest of the world is, you know? Lots of the things in the Venus tradition have just sort of tapered into advertising, into an explicit trick where beauty is something to give you enough mental disorders that you buy a bunch of crap.
It is an interesting thing you get. I see people like this who do the anti-modernist thing. And you often do get women doing that bit, and they tend to be pretty made up, but in a very modern style, which interests me. Like in a contemporary beauty fashion look, not sort of 1910s when beauty was still existent, and not in a Renaissance way. It's in the way that currently is popular throughout the world. It's like, well, I guess this kind of beauty standard is still very much up your avenue. It's just what the hobnobs are doing in the towers. It's not like modernist cube art has destroyed culture, because most people who compose culture, they're not really affected by modernist cube art. It's not infecting their brains like, No more eyeliner. I have to put a cube on my eye because this is this is what beauty means now. We've forgotten gold filigree, which of course is objectively beautiful in every sense.
How do you think men at the time looked at Venus paintings? Was it just
Slathering, hubba hubba, whoa, slamming the table with their comically large fists?
like was like this is because this is how I also imagine them, but in top hats, just like sort of
Yeah,
panting,
polite
drooling.
society.
Yeah. Like
They
that.
got it must have been the case.
Now, I don't want to claim that this OnlyFans profile picture, as interesting to look at as it might be, has as much artistic merit as Velázquez wrote Be Venus. But I do think that it is the true inheritor of the Venus tradition. Look at Titian's Venus of Urbino, a painting which Mark Twain described as the foulest, the vilest, the obscenest picture the world possesses. It was painted for a brothel, and it was probably refused because it was a trifle too strong. In truth, it's a trifle too strong for any place but a public art gallery. I want to know, Kim, why you love Botticelli's Venus. What is it that makes you gaze in awe at it? What do you love about it? Please like this video, leave a comment. How do you feel about contemporary art, modern art in the last 100 years? To round us off, here's Milo reflecting on Van Gogh.
Van Gogh is a great example because he's the one that all of these kinds of people hated at the time as like, this inconceivably ugly, unreal. And now he is so conventional. Now you can almost be bored looking at Van Gogh, which is wrong because it is still wonderful and excellent, but you can almost be like, well, that's a bit played out. Whereas at the time they laughed at it. I mean, it's hard to imagine someone seeing just the cypress trees and going and laughing uncontrollably at how stupid it looks. But this was the situation.
If you admire technical skill and feel nothing, then what's the point? What makes Botticelli any better than like Lionel Messi, or one of those kids who's really good at stacking cups, or solving Rubik's cubes? What makes Michelangelo better than some kid who's broken the Tetris record? If all that we appreciate about art is technical mastery, we appreciate nothing. Modernism did not bring about the ugliness and the tastelessness and the stupidity. Almost all human culture throughout all history consisted in nothing but ugliness and tastelessness and stupidity.